So a lack of sleep will age a man by a decade in terms of that critical aspect of wellness.
You're going to bed tonight thinking you're resting. But if you're sleeping the wrong way, your pillow is literally pressing wrinkles into your face right now. Your cells are aging faster than they should, and every dollar you spend on skincare is being quietly undone in the dark. Here's the wild part. A 2,500-year-old physician already knew how to fix this, and a cutting-edge 2023 neuroscience study just proved he was right. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to walk you through 5 bedtime rituals, some from ancient medicine, some from modern neuroscience, that you can stack into a single 2-minute routine tonight. Rituals that don't cost much, don't require a prescription, and can genuinely slow your biological aging while you sleep. And stay until ritual number 4. I told you it's disgusting. It's not what you think. But once you hear it, you'll never skip it. Why your sleep is aging you faster. Here's the truth that nobody in the longevity space wants to say out loud. You can spend $3,000 a month on supplements, cold plunges, red light panels, and anti-aging serums. And if you're getting poor quality sleep, it is all wasted. Every single night. The science on this is not soft. In 2013, a landmark study published in the Journal of Clinical and Experimental Dermatology followed 60 women between the ages of 30 and 50. The researchers measured sleep quality clinically and then examined each woman's skin. The poor sleepers showed significantly more fine lines, reduced skin elasticity, uneven skin tone, and slower recovery from UV damage. They called it a significant association between poor sleep and accelerated skin aging. In plain language, bad sleep makes you look and feel older faster. Now, Dr. Matthew Walker, professor of neuroscience at UC Berkeley and author of Why We Sleep, has spent 25 years studying what happens to your body when you close your eyes. His conclusion is unambiguous. Sleep is the single most powerful anti-aging tool you have access to. And most people are using it completely wrong. So I'm going to give you 5 rituals to fix that. 3 come from ancient traditions, including Ayurveda, traditional Chinese medicine, and Greek medicine. 2 come straight from modern sleep science. And you can do all 5 in about 2 minutes of active effort. Let's go. Ritual 1. The silk and back sleeping protocol. The ancient Greeks were obsessed with sleep position. The physician Asclepiades, who ran what were essentially the world's first sleep clinics inside temples, believed that your body posture during sleep was just as important as the sleep itself. He called it the posture of healing. Turns out he was onto something. Modern dermatologists have now calculated that if you sleep on your side, your face is being physically compressed against a surface for between 2,000 and 3,000 hours every single year. That's not an estimate. That's math. And your skin doesn't forget. The same crease forms in the same spot, night after night, until it stops bouncing back. Those are called compression wrinkles, and they can start showing up in your late 20s. Here's the ritual. First, switch your pillowcase to silk or satin. Cotton grips your skin and creates friction. Silk lets your face glide. That one swap alone can reduce mechanical skin stress by up to 40%. Second, train yourself to sleep on your back. You can use a $25 sleep position trainer pillow, or just place a regular pillow under your knees. It makes rolling to your side uncomfortable enough that your body stops doing it. Third, elevate your head about 20 to 30 degrees. This reduces fluid pooling in your face overnight, which means less morning puffiness and less long-term collagen damage around your eyes and cheeks. This isn't mystical. This is pure biomechanics. And it's the physical foundation everything else builds on. Now that you've got your sleeping position sorted, here's where it gets interesting. The next ritual comes from medical tradition that discovered something about your body's way system 3,000 years before Western science even knew it existed. Ritual 2. The Abhyanga self-massage. 3,000 years before anyone in the Western world had mapped the lymphatic system, Ayurvedic physicians in ancient India were already prescribing a practice called Abhyanga. That's a warm oil self-massage done every evening before bed. They were specific about the oils, specific about the timing, and extremely specific about one detail that seemed odd at the time. Always stroke toward the heart. We now know exactly why they insisted on that. Your lymphatic system is essentially your body's internal waste removal network. It clears out metabolic garbage, old cellular debris, and inflammatory compounds that build up throughout the day. But unlike your heart, your lymphatic system has no pump. It only moves when you move or when something pushes it along from the outside. When you massage oil into your skin with upward, outward strokes toward the heart, you are physically pushing lymphatic fluid through the system. You're draining the metabolic waste that causes inflammation, under-eye bags, and over time, accelerated cellular aging. Studies on facial massage show measurable reductions in puffiness and improvements in facial contour after just 4 weeks of nightly practice. Here's how to do it in 2 minutes. Warm 1 tablespoon of organic sesame oil or jojoba oil between your palms. Start with your feet. Ayurvedic tradition says this grounds the nervous system, and the National Institutes of Health has actually published research supporting foot massage's positive effect on sleep quality. Then move to your hands, arms, ears, and finally your face, always in upward, outward strokes. Put on an old pair of cotton socks and a shirt you don't mind getting oily and go to sleep. Bonus effect. The massage itself triggers your parasympathetic nervous system, which is your body's rest and repair mode. Your cortisol drops. Your melatonin starts rising naturally. You're essentially telling your body the workday is over. If you think the oil massage isn't your cup of tea, feel free to skip it for convenience. But the next 3 rituals are very easy and are must-dos you can start tonight. Ritual 3, the honey and warm milk elixir. Now, in traditional Chinese medicine, there's a remedy that was given to emperors and monks for well over 1,500 years. Warm milk, raw honey, and a pinch of nutmeg, consumed exactly 30 minutes before sleep. They believed it anchored the spirit. That's beautiful language. But modern science gives us a much more specific explanation. Milk contains tryptophan, which is the raw material your brain uses to make serotonin and then melatonin. When you warm it, absorption speeds up. Honey provides a small, controlled glucose rise that briefly suppresses orexin, which is the neurotransmitter that keeps you awake and alert. That gentle suppression helps your brain shift gears towards sleep. And nutmeg? A 2018 clinical trial in the American Journal of Therapeutics showed that small doses of nutmeg, just 1 to 2 pinches, significantly improve sleep quality and reduce the time it takes to fall asleep. But here's the critical warning most people miss. If you use regular store-bought pasteurized honey, you're getting almost none of the beneficial enzymes. The commercial heating process kills them. You need raw, unfiltered honey, ideally Manuka or local wildflower, and stir it in after your milk has cooled below 130 degrees Fahrenheit, or you'll destroy the enzymes yourself. The recipe: 6 ounces of warm grass-fed milk or oat milk, 1 teaspoon of raw honey, 1 to 2 pinches of freshly grated nutmeg. Drink it 30 minutes before you get into bed. If you have insulin resistance, skip the honey entirely and use a pinch of cinnamon instead. It has its own blood sugar balancing properties without the glucose spike. Ancient cultures cracked this code without a single lab, and now we know exactly why it works at a molecular level. Ritual 4, the 478 breath and body scan. Remember when I said Ritual 4 was disgusting? Here's what I meant. It's so embarrassingly simple that most people won't do it until they try it once, and then they do it every single night. Tibetan, Buddhist monks practicing what's called Yoga Nidra, the yogic sleep, have been using a specific breathing pattern for over 2,000 years. Dr. Andrew Wall adapted it for modern use, and it's now one of the most studied breathwork techniques in sleep medicine. Here's the science behind it. This breathing pattern directly stimulates your vagus nerve. That's the longest nerve in your body, running from your brain all the way down into your gut, and it controls your parasympathetic nervous system. When you activate it, your heart rate slows, your stress hormone cortisol drops, and your body receives an unmistakably clear signal. It is safe to sleep now. Here's how to do it. Lying in bed with the lights off. Inhale through your nose for 4 seconds. Hold that breath for 7 seconds. Then exhale slowly through slightly parted lips for 8 seconds. That's 1 cycle. Do 4 cycles. Then immediately follow with a 60-second body scan. Start at the top of your head and mentally work your way down to your toes, consciously releasing tension in each body part as you go. Harvard Medical School has shown that this type of body scan meditation can increase melatonin production by up to 16%. Do this every night for 21 days. You genuinely will not recognize your sleep. Ritual 5. The Sleep Sanctuary Protocol. The ancient Romans called it the cubicula, the inner chamber. The architect Vitruvius wrote that it should be cool, dark, and silent, designed to mimic the womb. He wrote that over 2,000 years ago, he was essentially describing the exact conditions that modern chronobiology researchers at Stanford and the Salk Institute now prescribe for optimal sleep. In 2017, the Nobel Prize in Medicine was awarded to 3 American scientists for discovering the circadian clock genes. These are master switches inside every cell of your body that control when to repair DNA, when to release growth hormone, and when to clear out damaged proteins. These switches respond to environmental signals. Get the environment wrong, and those switches don't fire. You're just lying in the dark, exhausted, while your body ages instead of heals. Here's the setup. Temperature first. Set your room to 65 degrees Fahrenheit. That's the precise temperature at which melatonin production peaks and your core body temperature naturally begins to drop to initiate deep sleep. Next, total blackout. Even small amounts of light coming through curtains can reduce your melatonin production by up to 70%, according to a Harvard Chan School study. That includes LED clocks and standby lights on electronics. Any light source disrupts the part of your brain called the suprachiasmatic nucleus, which is your internal circadian master clock, and last screen 90 minutes before bed. I know, it's hard, but this one might matter more than all the others combined. The full stack and why this changes everything. So here's the complete 2-minute ritual, stacked in order. 90 minutes before bed, put away your phone and screens. Set your room to 65 degrees and close your blackout curtains. 30 minutes before bed, drink your warm milk with raw honey and nutmeg. 10 minutes before bed, do your Abhyanga oil massage, feet first, then hands, arms, face. In bed with lights out, do 4 cycles of 4-7-8 breathing, followed by your 60-second body scan. And while you sleep, you're on your back on a silk pillowcase with your head slightly elevated. 2 minutes of active effort. The payoff? Measurable cellular repair, growth hormone release, DNA restoration, and a genuine slowing of your biological age. Not a cream, not a pill, just sleep done right. Dr. David Sinclair at Harvard, one of the world's leading longevity researchers, has publicly said he tracks his sleep as his #1 metric for longevity. Ahead of diet, ahead of exercise, ahead of supplements. You already have a built-in anti-aging system more powerful than anything sold in a bottle. These 5 rituals are how you turn it on. What to take away tonight? 3 things to remember from everything we covered today. 1. Your sleep position and environment are either aging you or protecting you every single night. 2. Ancient medical traditions from India, China, Greece, and Rome discovered sleep optimization techniques that modern science has now confirmed work at a cellular level. 3. The entire ritual takes 2 minutes of active effort and costs almost nothing. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these rituals are you trying tonight? Or maybe you already do one of them and you've noticed a difference. Drop it in the comments. And if you're someone who's been staying up late scrolling when you know you shouldn't, we've all done it. But tonight, maybe put the phone down a little earlier. Your cells will thank you in ways that no serum ever could. If this gave you something useful, please like this video, subscribe, and hit the bell. Sleep well. Every single night, you have a choice. Age or heal. Choose to heal. All scientific studies, research papers, and sources referenced in this video are linked in the description below. Please review them for yourself. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always consult your doctor before making changes to your health routine, especially if you have existing medical conditions.